Alright, so Colombia's President Gustavo Petro and Mr. Trump are beefing again on Twitter. Let's talk about what's going on. On Twitter, Petro accused the US of murdering a Colombian fisherman, Alejandro Carranza, in a strike carried out on September 15th in Colombia's Caribbean waters. Petro claimed that Carranza was a humble fisherman from the port city of Santa Marta, whose boat had its distress signal up due to an engine failure, while Trump claims that his boat was filled with drugs like destined for the United States. Some articles have come out about this man, Alejandro Carranza, who Petro claimed to be a humble fisherman. Allegedly, he was captured in 2016 in the city of Santa Marta for working with a police officer to forge a signature to remove weapons that were previously captured from street gangs from the police's, storage and putting them back on the street. Regardless, this does not justify these attacks. According to international law, there has to be evidence of an imminent threat to carry out an attack like the ones that the US have been doing in the Caribbean, airstriking boats. The legal way to do things would have been that these ships would have needed to be intercepted by the US Coast Guard once they reached US territorial waters. This way they could capture the people who are trafficking drugs, and they could also show clear evidence that drugs are being brought into the country. But missile striking and doing all that type of aggression without justification that there's going to be an attack on the country is technically illegal under international law. So then Trump responded back on Twitter to Petro, saying that Petro's a drug leader with a fresh mouth towards the United States, that if he doesn't control the production and exportation and the coca fields here in Colombia, that the U.S. will do it for him and that they won't do it nicely. He also said that the U.S. was going to cut off all aid to Colombia. There's currently about 10,000 U.S. troops and dozens of U.S. military aircrafts right off the Caribbean coast of Colombia and Venezuela, which Trump claims are there to put pressure on Maduro's regime in Venezuela and eventually take him out of power. While at the same time, they're also striking these boats, which they claim are part of drug trafficking organizations that are sending the drugs to the U.S. This is probably the worst relationship Colombia has had with the United States in decades. Colombia has always been one of the strongest allies of the U.S. in Latin America, so only time will tell how this is going to develop. Tensions are pretty high right now in Latin America, probably higher than they've been in a long time. So we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see how this unfolds, and I'll see y'all in a new video.